I'm Wendy Howard, the director of our Pegasus Innovation Lab and Digital Learning at UCF. And Nicole has been the one sending you all kinds of communications about these demos. So she also is part of our iLab along with Samantha Richardson. And we're trying to help coordinate these demos for the JoVE folks so that we can get the word out to everybody on campus that this is a new collection that is available to you to start using immediately. We have made a strategic investment for a 1-year subscription to the JoVE Education Collection, which our new friends here are going to tell us all about. But we have access for at least the next year. We were able to get some CARES Act funding to pay for a 1-year subscription. And based on usage, we will hopefully have a justification to continue that. And so that's available to you again, starting today. You already have access, even though our contract technically kicks off for fall semester. But we wanted to make sure everyone had access to go in and find the resources that you need in preparation for fall so that you can be using it in your fall courses if you like. So we have Allison and Avital from JoVE, and I'm gonna turn it over to them to share with you what JoVE is and how to access and how to take advantage of this opportunity while we've got it.
Well, thank you very much, Wendy, and thank you, Wendy and Nicole, for organizing this JoVE webinar. Thank you, everyone, for attending. So essentially, we'll have a presentation today and also a demo of the JoVE resources. I'm Avital Bremen. I'm Director of Product Development at JoVE. I'm here to help faculty and instructional designers integrate JoVE content into online degree programs and courses. And with me is my colleague, Allison.
And my name is Allison Callahan. I'm part of the customer success team here at JoVE. I'm specifically a curriculum specialist. Prior to working at JoVE, I got a BS in biology from UMass Lowell, and I've also done preclinical ocular research where I actually used one of the JoVE articles in order to learn how to do eye dissections. So I have a special appreciation for how scientists can use JoVE in their research. But enough about me, let's get into the presentation. So let me just share my screen. So hold on one second. So on this slide, you'll actually see Trevor Shuck, who was not able to attend this webinar, but he was at the others. He's the account manager. And as you can see here, there's Avital and myself. But yes, let's get into what you guys have, what JoVE is, how you can use it, and what additional support is available to you. So what is JoVE? Think of JoVE as your go-to scientific protocol resource. We are the world-leading producer and provider of science videos with the mission to improve scientific research and education. Millions of scientists, educators, and students at thousands of universities, colleges, hospitals, and biopharmaceutical companies worldwide use JoVE for the research, teaching, and learning. We're actually the brainchild of a scientist who, like many of us, have experienced at one point or another. He was having difficulty learning a new technique, and so he wanted to find a way that would be easier and easier for all scientists in general to learn these new techniques. Our CEO, Moshe Pritzker, when he was working on his PhD at Princeton, he was having a really hard time learning this new cell culture technique. He was trying to culture neural stem cells in serum-free media, and he couldn't get it to work. And he, at that point in time, it was the early 2000s, he tried to learn it from the written protocol. Couldn't get it to work. He said, hey, anybody else at Princeton or nearby colleges, can you show me how to do this experiment? And there was nobody who was nearby who could show him. And what he ended up having to do was spend $10,000, contact the author of the paper, and travel to them. And between the travel costs and housing costs and reagents, so on and so forth, he spent $10,000 in order to learn this new technique. And he said, this is crazy. No one should it shouldn't be this hard to learn a new technique. And so he came up with this idea of, in addition to having these, detailed text protocols, in addition to having those, having videos to complement them so that people can get a full picture of what the experiment is and truly see the nuances of the experiment. And so he came up with JoVE, and we initially started as a research resource, but we've now evolved to have education resources as well. So we have resources for for scientists, no matter where they are in their academic career or scientific career. And so you guys have our JoVE Education Unlimited package, which is quite nice for a couple of different reasons. It has all of our education resources, but in addition to that, anytime we add new resources, it gets added with subscription and you guys automatically get access. So for example, later this year, we're gonna be coming out with a chemistry video textbook, and I'll get into what that is later in the presentation. But yeah, let's just start with, how do you guys get access to these resources? So just in general, if you were to be on campus, you would get access through the IP range, but right now we're listed on the A through Z databases, and I know your lovely library staff are working on putting together a page for you, but you can get access just through that easy proxy or being on campus through the IP range. And the 3 different products that you have access to within that Education Unlimited package are our science education videos, our video lab manuals, and then Core, our video textbooks. And let's just start off by talking about the standard science education series. So within here, we have 8 different series between advanced biology, basic biology, chemistry, clinical skills, engineering, environmental sciences, physics, and psychology. So advanced biology is going to fit really well in those upper level biology courses. It's got things like cell culture, neuroscience, microbiology, immunology. So it's really going to be great for those students who are doing independent projects or just in general upper level biology courses. The basic biology series is going to be helpful in almost every lab because it has a lab safety section within there. And you know, everybody, if they're going into lab, is going to need to know how to use an eye wash station, how to do proper waste disposal. Also within the basic biology series, you'll find some molecular biology videos, as well as some in vivo research videos, as well as some model organisms videos. So it's really well balanced. Then we have our chemistry series, which is great for majors as well as non-majors. It has a quite nice general chemistry collection under there, as well as inorganic, organic, biochemistry, and analytical chemistry. And so it's going to be really great for those who are doing interdisciplinary work. Then we have our clinical skills videos, and within there you'll find stuff that your nursing majors are really going to like. We actually now have a COVID section in there as well. As far as engineering, it's quite broad. It covers everything from biomedical engineering to aeronautical engineering to materials engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So it's very, very broad. Environmental sciences, again, is broad as well. It's got videos that are going to be great for those environmental science courses, as well as environmental microbiology, which can be used in general microbiology courses, as well as there's some videos on GIS and earth sciences in there. So it's going to have something for everybody. Then our physics series is going to have videos that are great for introductory physics courses. It's also got some thermodynamics videos in there, which some physical chemistry professors sometimes like to use in their courses. But the physics series in general is great for those introductory physics courses, and it's great for non-calculus or calculus-based physics courses. And lastly, we have our psychology series, which is going to have everything for introductory psychology courses, as well as some of those upper level courses where students might be doing research. And the general setup of each of these videos is they average about 9 minutes long. They have closed captioning in 12 different languages, as well as a transcript along the side of the video. The videos can be embedded into your Canvas page very easily, and Avital will show that a little bit later in the demo. But yes, the general setup of each of these videos is it's going to have a cute little animation explaining the concept behind the technique. Then it's going to go into a video of what it would actually look like with real lab equipment. And then it's going to go into real world application. So for example, with the creating a Winogradzki column, it's going to start with a cute little animation explaining exactly what that is, then shows the students how they would actually use real lab equipment to do it, and then real world application. So it gives them a full picture of what this technique is and why they should care about it in the first place. So they're really going to understand the basics of it, as well as how it would actually be done and why they should care. And the way that we typically see these videos being used is as pre-lab prep. or post-lab review, or they can be used in lecture-based courses as well. I know UCLA did a case study where they used it in a lecture-based Gen Chem course, and that worked quite well. If you guys have access to the Journal of Chemical Education, you can see the case study specific to UCLA and the general chemistry lecture-based course. But on the bottom here, you'll actually see, this is from our a study that was done by Turk, which is kind of an education organization based out of Cambridge, and their role is kind of to evaluate different teaching resources. And so what they did is they went to Clemson University in DeSales, and they had 2 different lab courses. And what they did is within each of these lab courses, they had 2 groups of students. They had, all of the students got a pre-lab handout, but only the students in the video group got, in addition to the pre-lab handout, they were able to watch 5 to 6 minutes of a JoVE video. And what they found was that the students did up to twice as well on the evaluations. The students reported feeling more confident and felt that they better understood the materials. And especially in those science majors where sometimes it's hard to retain people in those majors because students might not feel confident in what they're doing. It's important that we have resources that are going to help them to better understand and make sure that they feel confident in what they're doing. And so this specific study was in a lab-based course, but the same results were replicated in that UCLA case study that I mentioned earlier, which was a lecture-based course. But now that we've gone through this, let's get into lab manual. We have this nice little video for you guys to watch. Oh, sorry about that.
Welcome to JoVE Lab Manual, a new curriculum-focused video series for introductory biology courses. You'll find 3 component videos for each lab. First, the Instructor Prep video provides instructors and teaching assistants with everything they need ahead of time to make sure the lab runs smoothly. Below this video, you will find the lab's learning objectives and printable versions of the materials list and prep protocol. Second, the concepts video demonstrates the fundamental ideas in each lab using high-quality animation. By watching the video in advance, students can more easily connect the dots between scientific concepts and the experimental outcome. Lastly, the student protocol video helps students replicate a validated procedure. Beyond that, they also discuss the hypotheses and encourage students to critically evaluate their results, pushing them to think like scientists. Integrate JoVE Lab Manual videos into your course today.
So just in general, our lab manuals are not just a resource for students, they're a resource for instructors as well. Currently, we have 2 different lab manuals. We have an introductory biology lab manual as well as an introductory chemistry lab manual. The introductory chemistry lab manual has resources that are going to be helpful for both general chemistry as well as organic chemistry courses. And each of the labs in the lab manual have 3 video components. They have an instructor prep video, a concept video, and then a student protocol video. And as I was saying earlier, this is a resource not only for the students, but also for the people preparing for the lab. Under that Instructor Prep tab, you're going to have a video showing exactly what you would need to do to prepare for the lab, whether it be the day before or weeks before. In addition to that, below the video, you'll find detailed step-by-step directions on how to prepare for the lab, as well as learning objectives. So if you're preparing your syllabus, trying to say, hey, you're going to learn this thing in this course, we already have those things written out. So if you'd like, you can copy and paste them over into your syllabus. In addition to that, there's a materials list that you can print out. The one that we have is specific to 10 students, but you can just multiply that out for however many students who are in your course. Then the concept video, this is quite nice because it's going to go through the concept behind the experiment. And one thing that I should add is the lab manual, don't just think of this as a lab resource. Because of the fact that it has that concept video, it's something that can be helpful in those lecture-based courses as well. And lastly, the last video that is included is a student protocol video. And in my opinion, I like to split up the video in my head into two different sections. It's basically got a data collection component as well as a data analysis component. Because when these students are collecting data, they're not just collecting data for the sake of collecting data. They're collecting this data for the sake of learning something. And so what's really nice about the video is not only does that have that student protocol where it's actually going through that data collection and showing you what it would look like with real lab equipment and what you would be collecting. It's also got a component of the video that's going to tell you and walk you through the math or the analysis that would be involved with understanding the data that you've collected. In addition, under that student protocol video, you'll have detailed step-by-step directions on how this would actually be done in the lab, as well as tables that can be filled in. Or I should say they can be printed out and then filled in by the students. And then there's also a results section that, again, is going to have those students analyze what they've collected. And each of the labs has multiple choice question banks, in addition to having just that results sections where they analyze that content. And the way that we're typically seeing these videos being used right now is they're either being used as a virtual lab where professors are providing sample data and having students, watch the different videos. At least right now, this is kind of almost as close to the lab as the students can get in some situations. Sometimes the professors like to have students watch the Instructor Prep videos as well, because of the fact that, when they go on and graduate, no one is going to be preparing things for them, and they're going to have to do these things on their own. So sometimes it helps to give context to the experiment. Yes, this is quite nice because it gives a full picture of everything involved in the experiment, between the Instructor Prep, the concept explaining, the fundamental concept behind the experiment, as well as the student protocol. And lastly, the third product that you guys have access to is Core, which is our line of video textbooks. We currently have 2 video textbooks, a biology video textbook, as well as a social psychology video textbook. And the way that these are set up is they're split into different chapters, and they have, within each of those chapters, they have concept videos as well as scientists in action videos. And these videos they're these cute little animations. They average about 2 minutes long. So they're very high impact, designed to be quick, designed to be, very well illustrate these scientific concepts and really help the students grasp and digest these scientific concepts. And as I was saying before, it's got a concept section as well as a scientists in action section. The scientists in action section of these chapters goes into different experiments where where something like prokaryotic cells, cytoplasm, the nucleus, where these concept videos are relevant. And it's something that's going to, again, give the students a full picture of these scientific concepts, even if they're not the most applicable to scientific techniques. And with each of these videos, there's 3 end of lesson questions, as well as we also have question banks for the entire chapters. So we have end of chapter question banks. And so now that we've kind of gone through the different products, how would you guys get set up? Just in general, the first step I would do is make a JoVE account. This is for a couple different reasons. It's going to allow you to organize your favorites videos, track recently watched videos, manage the JoVE tests. So for that first product we were looking at, the science education videos, those have the question banks listed directly on the website. Things like Core and Lab Manual, those questions, we have both the Qti and Word document versions, but those aren't listed on the website. So at least if you're using those standard science education videos, this is going to be helpful. In addition to that, you're going to want to have a JoVE account for Canvas embedding if you're using HTML embed codes. There are a couple of different ways that you can add videos into the Canvas page, but if you're adding just one, then I would recommend using those HTML embed codes, and having a JoVE account is critical for that, because it's what's going to guarantee that your students have uninterrupted access and that the students do not need to log in when trying to watch the videos in your Canvas page. Another way that you can add videos into your Canvas page is through common cartridges. And on the right here, you can actually see, this is a common cartridge that we uploaded into Professor Lumio's page. And on the left here, you'll see some of the videos from our JoVE website. But to actually upload a common cartridge would take you all of 40 seconds. We can tailor them to your class and I send them over to you, and then you can upload them into your course, and it's going to be very easy for your students to access the videos that way. And lastly, what do they look like when they're actually embedded into these Canvas pages? So here you can see our stereotactic surgery for genetic manipulation in striatal cells of neonatal mouse brains. And so you can see the video here. If I was a student, I'd just be able to click on the video and watch it. Then below this video, you'll see an additional text. And on the right here, you'll actually see one of the questions from our question banks. And this is kind of what it looks like when you upload our Qti files. So for all of our education videos, we have those Qti file and Word document versions of those question banks. And so if you're using the Qti files, you can see what that looks like here. As I was saying earlier, the first product we're looking at, science education, those, in addition to having those Qti files, we also have the ability to use the JoVE test feature, which is directly on the JoVE website and doesn't utilize Canvas or Word documents. And so in general, what support is available for you guys? So we've developed, we really wanted to support our scientists at our universities. And so we've put together a team of scientists, both PhDs, both people who've worked in lab, a team of people that also includes professors who are here to help you guys find content that's relevant to your courses. We offer free syllabus mapping and lab training mapping. So we're able to pull from our more than 12,000 videos, stuff that's going to be relevant to what you need for your course or for your lab, and give you a short list that you can go through and say, hey, I want to use this video, I don't want to use that video. Then we're able to put together those common cartridges, which is a way of quickly adding several videos at once, whether you want to add 5 or 500 videos. It's going to make it so that you can add those videos in all of 40 seconds. And this is going to guarantee that your students have uninterrupted access and can easily just go to your Canvas page and view the materials there. And so now I'm actually going to hand it off to Avital, who will do a demo for you guys and show you the website.
Perfect, thank you. Awesome, let me just see if I can just
stop sharing.
There we go. Okay, perfect. So hopefully right now you can see the JoVE website. You'll have access to all our education content, as Allison was saying, and I'll go over the 3 products, JoVE Core, JoVE Science Education, and JoVE Lab Manual, and we'll do a demo. So let's start with the first one, which is JoVE Core. So what is JoVE Core? JoVE Core is hundreds of concepts that are explained through animations. Let's start by looking at biology. And I'll say that Core is obviously mapped to Campbell biology and OpenStax biology as well. So let's look at our the biology core. Goes through all the lesson information, from fundamentals to cellular processes to genetics, human biology, ecology, evolution, and plant biology. For example, if we're interested in chapter 2, the chemistry of life. So let's say we're interested in learning about electron behavior. Sorry, I need to sign in here. 1 minute, sorry for that. Okay, perfect. So then I'll play a few seconds of the video for you.
Subatomic particles that possess an electrical charge of -1. As a result, they are attracted to and revolve around the positively charged nucleus, occupying the majority of the atom's volume. In this simplified diagram, those that are located closest to the nucleus in the first energy level have the least amount of energy. As there can only be up to 2 electrons orbiting this level, additional ones fill increasingly higher energy levels with more complex orbital paths. Here, at this outermost shell,
as you can see, short, less than 1 minute video that really explains the concepts through animation of all the topics. We have closed captions here. So if you would like closed captions, let's say in Spanish, you can have that, have different speeds to follow. We also have it in different languages. So for example, we can listen to video in Spanish if we would like here. And most importantly, it's very easy to embed. So if you want to embed it, let's say in Canvas, all you do is press the embed button. You take this code into, again, Canvas, your LMS, and it's really, you know, easy, and that's all you really need to do. Again, Alice and I are here to help you with integrating JoVE content into your courses. So please reach out. You know, we're happy to help, and you know, we'll be glad to prepare also common cartridges for you, which would be a very easy way for you to embed many videos at the same time. In addition, let's go back to the core product. Wanted to show you another video here. So for example, if we go into cell cycle and division, again, for example, what is a cell cycle? And again, we have a short video with an explanation here.
The cell cycle refers to the sequence of events throughout a cell's typical life, including growth, DNA replication, sometimes more growth, and division. For sexually reproducing organisms, life begins as a zygote, a fertilized egg.
There is also a transcript below the video that one can follow as well. So this is a core. Now let's go and show you JoVE Science Education. So with JoVE Science Education, we have it in biology, physics, engineering, chemistry, clinical skills, environmental sciences, and psychology. What is science education? So this is a video library dedicated to teaching scientific experiments. So let's, for example, take a look at chemistry. We go to organic chemistry. You can go down, choose one of the videos, for example, column chromatography. So essentially, I'll mute this, but we have a video here, you know, showing, first of all, we'll see the principles of column chromatography. Again, a nice animation. Then we'll see how to, you know, do the column and sample preparation, the separation of the compounds, the results, and the applications. And we have, again, the transcripts that follows below. We also have a nice protocol you could see here. So again, the protocol shows the step-by-step of the procedure, how to prepare the column, how to add the sample to the column, how to recover the constituents, and so forth. I mean, it will show you the results, what you should be getting, and the applications in the summary. And let's go back to the video. Just want to show you that it's just very easy to embed as well, just like, you know, the core videos are. So just going back to this video. You can just embed it. Again, same thing, you just copy this into your LMS, into Canvas, and that's all that's required. All right, so now let's go to the third product you have, which is JoVE Lab Manual. So with JoVE Lab Manual, this is introductory labs in biology and chemistry. So let's say if we take a look at chemistry for a minute, let's choose ideal gas law. As Allison was saying, we have 3 videos here. We have the introductory prep, which is for the professor or, you know, whoever is teaching the course, it really goes through, you know, the learning objectives, a list of materials, what you need to prepare for this lab, and then the step-by-step of the lab prep. Then we have the concepts video, which really explain, which really explains the concepts. So really go through, you know, the animations and really what is kind of how things work. So when the students come into the lab, they really know, you know, all the principles, all the concepts behind the experiment they'll be doing. You know, you also have equations and such that go with it to really explain what's going on. And then we have the student protocol video, which shows the procedure, shows step-by-step in the lab of students performing the labs. So
others. This section of the lab uses a Bunsen burner to boil water. Take care to keep your sleeves, hair, and the three-prong. Now place the Dumas tube in a clean 100 milliliter beaker and bring it to an...
So essentially you see the step-by-step of the students performing the lab. And now with the COVID situation, it may be the closest students can get to actually being able to perform labs, to be able to watch them in JoVE. And again, you see the step-by-step here of how to do that, how to perform the experiments, the results, sections, and so forth. So with that, those are the three products. Let me take you to remote learning. So this is our Faculty Resource Center. The Faculty Resource Center first has JoVE videos for your courses. So just sample courses, for example, Introduction Biology, syllabus mapping. So again, many syllabus mapping for courses. We're happy to map your course as well. So please reach out to us and we'll be very glad to, again, map the videos in the JoVE videos to your courses and create a playlist for you. But just to give you an example, again, this Introduction to Biology, it goes through all the topics covered and then the videos that would go along with that. Going back to the resource page, we have how to set remote access. So for example, setting up JoVE content in Canvas. You could go here and you have both detailed instructions of how to do that and also a video tutorial that explain how to embed content into Canvas, how to load common cartridges. Again, we're happy to provide you with common cartridges. Just reach out to us. How to use the LTI tool, loading Qti files, our quiz banks or our question banks, and so forth. So lastly, what I just wanted to show you is that, there is a search here. So you are welcome to, search for videos. So if you're looking for educational content, you can see all our educational content. You can search by, publication date, author, institution, and subject as well. But again, we're here to help you. We know that, with the COVID situation, things are already pretty difficult. And if we can save your time and provide you with playlists of JoVE videos that are mapped to your courses or help you with LMS integrations of JoVE content, we'll be very glad to do that. Okay, let me go back to, okay, let me pause the share.
I can open the presentation again.
Yeah, I'm going back to the presentation.
While you're making that transition, Avital,
what?
While you're making that transition, can I just jump in really quick?
Of course, yeah.
From the UCF side, I mentioned earlier that we're just finishing up the contract. The ink is just signing on the contract, so we're getting everything set up for you. But we wanted to quickly get access for all of you to this collection to start looking. So through the library, you can access this collection, and as Avital showed you, you can embed the content yourself now if you wanted to into your web courses. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that yourself, you can also contact web courses support and they'll help you with that. If you're not sure who to go to for help, if all you remember is iLab at ucf.edu, you can always contact us and we'll direct you to the appropriate folks. But this is new, and so we're working on installing the Canvas integration. That will be available shortly, and we'll send a message out to everybody that RSVP'd for these sessions to let you know when you can directly embed within web courses. But in the interim, you can still go search, you can embed yourself, or you can contact web courses support as well.
And you have our content information here as well. So myself and Allison, you know, for online courses and programs, you have me. For general support, you have Allison. And we're here to help. Again, any questions, all questions, we're here for you.
And yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, any questions we can answer. Let's look at the chat if there is. See.
If you have questions specific to your courses or disciplines, now's a great time to ask.
We encourage both faculty and instructional designers to reach out. I mean, because we understand, you know, there's a lot of content, so we can, you know, get it just very specifically to what you need. So you don't need to, you know, spend your time when we can get it. And we can also get it like a common cartridge, for example, for you of any content that be, again, very easy to embed into your LMS. So you don't have to do it one video at a time, get your question banks and answer and any and all of your questions, either now or, you know, anytime you can reach us.
Yes, and while we're waiting for any questions, I'll also encourage you, if you're interested in using this content, it is a free service that JoVE is offering. So I would encourage you, if you're interested, to just share your syllabus with them, and they can go through and pull a collection for you. Web Courses Support can import it into your web course for you. So we're trying to make it as easy for you to use as possible.
Yeah, Swadesh, we can help you if you need anything. And as we mentioned during the presentation, you have that science education section where there's a general chemistry section. And in addition, there's lab manual content relevant to general chemistry, as well as there are actually some hidden Gen Chem resources within Core Bio. So I'm actually just going to quickly show you guys that while we're still here. So one thing that's like a little bit of a surprise is we hide chemistry resources within biology resources. So we will be coming out with a chemistry video textbook later this year. But I should also add that for those Gen Chem courses, we do have things like Chemistry of Life, which is going to go through things like van der Waals interactions, acid-base, like you can see just quickly here. Yeah, if you need any help finding content relevant to your courses, we're here to help. And yeah, I thank you guys for joining us this morning, and thank you, Wendy and Avital, for getting this set up. And just let us know if you need anything.
Sounds good, Allison. Thank you.
Great. And if there are no other questions, I mean, we'll stay on the line for an extra minute or two in case you think of a question. But we did get a question in the chat about sharing the recording. So yes, we will pass that along to everybody that RSVP'd for this session. Feel free to share it with your colleagues in your departments if you like. And again, if you remember nothing else, iLab at ucf.edu, we can direct you to the appropriate resources if you need help. But there are plenty of different places to get the help that you need. All right, well then I guess we'll stop the recording and